Hey everyone, Soundwave884 here in the Transformers Legacy Evolution Review. In this review, take a look at Leader Class Prime Universe Skyquake. Up here is the box art, which is very nice indeed. Oh, get a good look at his robot mode and his alt mode up here in the top. It does come with multiple weapons. That's part of his Evo Fusion. Turn to the side, get his face here, and then more of the artwork from the vehicle mode here. Turn around to the back. Evo Fusion, you get his cannon, like a Gatling gun, and you got his sword here as well. And 29 steps get you all the way around. A lot of steps there. And then Needle Nose can also combine on top of Skyquake in vehicle mode. It's a big box. He comes packaged like this in jet mode. He's not fully tapped in though, so I'm gonna have to clip him out of here, out of his little cardboard prison, and I'll take a look at the figure. It also comes with a very thick instruction manual here, and it's showing us off some of the little things he can do, his weapons can do as well. So here's Skyquake out of the box in vehicle mode. It's a very lovely looking green with some of this orangish color going on here. The trim on the wings, the back, some silver on the back side, and some grays. A little bit of gray paint here as well, or silver paint on top of the jet mode as well. Now you got this gold translucent plastic here and here for the cockpit, and yes, the cockpit does open up. Just got to get in there. They're going to be sticking anything in there. There's not enough room, but still a nice little feature that they actually made it to where the cockpit could open. Come to the other side, you do have 3 landing gears here you can bring out. 2 on the back side. Those down. And you got 1 right under the nose cone. Bring that out. Only bad thing about it is the wheels do not spin at all. You think as a leader price point, these would be spinning. Being actual wheels that can make them roll, but they don't. It's just straight up molded plastic, so he's just going to slide around wherever you put him on. But at least he does have some landing gear, so that is a plus. And these are the 2 weapons it comes with. This is his Gatling gun. This is the thing here that can open up and become a sword here. If I can actually get my thumbnail in there to bring that up. I am not left-handed, and I'm having to use my left hand for most stuff. That. Now you can combine these 2. The only hollow, it's actually got a nice solid weapon. The only hollow bit is right where this is going to go in. You're going to do it this way, where this it comes up. That's going to go inside of this, like so. And that is going to. I'm not. There, get in there. You just push it in like that, and now this can now tab underside of the vehicle mode. And you just put that down on the underside, and there you go. Got his weapon down there below. Raise these tail fins up. Scary snapping. So there isn't all his glory in jet mode, landing gears down, gun underneath, raising these wings up. If you don't want to do it to where it makes that snappy, you can have them angled like that as well. Come to the back side, you can see where he's got his thrusters, and let's take some blast effects. Do blast effects, and yes, they are blast effect compatible. Let's see, I don't think the middle one's going to be because this, yeah, ain't going to do nothing. But, there you go. These are on his feet, so they do kind of move around. But very cool. Take your needle nose, these little slots down here. He's got these 2 tabs back here, and we're just going to tab needle nose right on top. And there's Needle Nose on top of Skyquake. It was a little rough getting them on there, and all that sounds bad when I say it. But it's a nice little combination gimmick you can do with these Transformers. It gives them a little bit more playability. Honestly, not too big of a fan of doing that. It's just a little difficult. I'm just afraid eventually I'm going to like break these little plastic tabs off. But that's just me. Alright, let's get a few comparisons in. Here he is next to Voyager class Metal Hawk from Transformers Evolution. You see, they're pretty much about the same length. It's just the Skyquake has a little more mass to him. He's a thicker bot. Metal Hawk gets a little more trimmed down, a little more slim in a vehicle mode. And plus, Skyquake has the landing gears, which Metal Hawk does not. Next, the Studio Series Deluxe Class Ironhide, just because he's here. And next to, I believe it's Voyager class scatter shot from Combiner Wars. Again, just as big or lengthwise as Skyquake, not as much mass going on there. Alright, so let's get this guy into robot mode. Again, I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to show the transformation on camera. It's going to be really hard for me. I can barely hold on to any kind of crap with the way my hand is. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to show you the transformation, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it on YouTube. And if I'm able to do it good enough, I might put it in a YouTube short. Just letting you know that. Alright, with him in robot mode, transformation is not hard. There's a lot of steps, and there's a lot of stuff you've got to move around from one side to the other, twists and turns. So there's a lot of getting the right clearance for things. Just make sure when you get in robot mode that you do use your panels here to close up this little gap that you'll have right here. And also, it has a little tab on the little cover piece. It goes right here into the wrist, which will then cover the gap. And plus lock his hand from closing in and out. And you still get the wrist swivel. It doesn't hinder that. It's just sometimes moving around with too much force, you can make that tab pop back out. It's not like a big, hard, clicketing tab there. Also on the back of the legs, there's these little wings that do tab here. I do eventually. Well, I do have issues every now and then. It'll pop out and not tab in very well. And also, they're easy to untap because, again, they're really small tabs and really small slot. There you go. Just knock that out. But it's really small. So it's just a point of, you're probably going to knock that out when you're handling the figure. And again, sometimes stay in there, it's a pain in the butt. So we're not going to fill too much with that. The only really hollowness he has is right here on the kneecaps. And this little piece is solid on the outside. And also my cast knocks stuff out repeatedly. Otherwise, he's got a big backpack. And he does become back heavy. And that is something that he can tip backwards fairly easily, so just be aware of that. He doesn't really have much of a heel spur. He's got these thrusters which can go backwards, but I just helps knock that out even more. But he still just stays unsteady. He's not that. Move it this way, Transformers guy and trying to get him posed back up and film this second half of this review has really pissed me off. And I don't know if it's just user error because of my problems, or it's just the fact that he's just back heavy and those little tabs like to come untabbed. It's irritating, I'll say, to say the least. He got his Gatling gun. I pull the sword out so you can pose this stuff in them. You just take the little piece here, grab it, unfold it out, and then this will just go right into his hand. That don't fall backwards, dude. Then you got his other Gatling gun. You can put it this way into his hand, but then you have this big hollowness where you just took that out, because the gun is pretty solid. The only hollow part you're going to have is when you actually remove that sword, and then when you pull this part out, when you want him to hold it in both hands so you can wield it with both fists. You can go on the underside here to help hide the gap you just created by removing the sword. Like that. But see, moving the hand around, I've untabbed that. So he's got those little problems there, but they're not deal breakers. He's got lots of ratchety joints, and this one here, you hear the ratchet going up, and going down, I don't have that ratchet anymore like I do on this side, where I can go this one up. I got it down. I was trying to move that, and it's really tight and stiff. I did that. Something fell out, so I'm thinking I shredded part of the ratchet, so you can still ratchet up, but you're not getting the ratchet down. I think I shredded part of the plastic. I'm not left-handed, so I blame user error on that. I don't know if I did or not, or maybe it's this way this one was, but I thought I saw something fall out. Something really small. But he's got a bit of a backpack on the back side, not really any hollowness back here except for the gaps with this. You knock these out and then that will be noticeable, but you need the gaps for transformation back there. He does have this little port here, and you can take your HasLab from Victory Saber and you can peg that right in there. Now you do hit the backpack. There's a little thing, this hooks onto the tabs that he does in jet mode. You can undo that and you get an ab crunch out of this. And this plastic is extremely thin right there, and I'm afraid of breaking it over time. but just shove this right in his butt, and then you can now use that right on my rectum to do poses on that if you want. But I've done this a few times with the figure. I've already got some stress marks forming on this. Well, I had to figure out, let's go over articulation. You can get this ab crunch here. You can see the little wedge hinge there, but you end up unpegging the back side here. Like I said, just thin plastic. It makes them a little floppy. We'll put it back in. You want to push down from the back side, and you can lock that back in. But like I said, it's really thin plastic, and it's on a slider. There's a slider here if you get from jet mode to robot mode. I'll swear, be gentle. If you're too rough, I can swear that little piece of plastic can just snap right in half. So just be careful with that. The articulation, you got your soft ratchets going up on your hips. You can get the full splits. Get it down. Soft ratchets going out. Kick to there. And you're going to kick back all the way to the backpack. Again with some soft ratchet. You get upper thigh swivels there. You get double knee joints here. You get one here. And you get an upper one there, so you can get some decent knee bends. Tab that thing again. Toes, ankles, you can slight ankle tilt. Don't get too much, and you get your little toe tap because of transformation. You do get a 360 waist swivel, but this little clear plastic back here will hit the legs, and so I don't recommend doing it unless you make sure you have clearance. Just don't start spinning it around. Head, you get a really good up, no down. You get a 360 all the way around. It does have light piping as well. It doesn't really shine through as well as, say, Kingdom Cyclonus or a Siege Soundwave or something like that. You get your upper bicep swivels. You get deep elbow bends. You got your wrist swivels. You got soft ratchets like I showed you earlier on the shoulders going out. You also get it going forward. You don't have the ratchets. You get this butterfly joint here. So when you're doing the Gatling gun, you can crisscross his arms. You can do the crotch chop. These pieces, these big old shoulder pads, come down and help hide what you're doing, so it makes them look pretty cool. You get a lot of posing out of the guy. I would just be wary of certain aspects of the figure. The paint is applied well on. You saw on the vehicle mode, really well done. Robot mode is just as well done. You get some more here. You get this here, some silver. The face is painted well. I would say he's got a mix of his G1 self. You like G1 Skyquake? Yes. The G1 Skyquake was turned into Machine Wars Starscream. So maybe somewhere down the line, Generation Selects or some exclusive somewhere, maybe we'll get some Machine Wars Universe figures popping up. And we already know this guy's going to be turned into a Prime Universe Dreadwing. It's a cool looking figure. Lots of posability, lots of articulation. He's got a few problem areas. He's back heavy, just some thin plastic in places. And then mostly in the waist. I'd just be afraid of repeating. Oh God, I touched you, didn't I? I barely brushed your kneecap, dude. But like I said, this guy has pissed me off a whole lot. Just trying to get him transformed and just standing here just to pose his ass. What you can do here, just go ahead and show off his Gatling gun going in both hands. You take this out. God, this hurts my hand. And then you go to this piece here. You want to bring this up. Just got this on a ball joint here. And you're going to spin this around. So another little, yeah, just pull it right out of your stupid hand. Turn it around. And we'll just put it right back in his hand while he's laying down on the ground. And you bring these up so you can get your shoulders. Yeah, you see how you can do. Suck it! And bring this around. And you can put this in his hand. Oh, good God Almighty. Alright, there we go. Now he is dual wielding, not dual wielding, but he's holding both hands, his Gatling gun. And yes, it is blast effect compatible if I don't drop these stupid things. My hand doesn't work right. There we go. Pew pew. It doesn't stay tapping very well. It's a small little peg, so it doesn't really stay hooked on. That's just laying on my dead hand. Comparison time here next to Voyager class Metal Hawk. Leader class Kingdom Ultra Magnus. Thrilling 30 Leader class Jetfire. Here's the final thoughts on Prime Universe Leader class Skyquake. It's a nice, it's an impressive figure. It's actually a Leader class figure that's a Leader class size. I mean, he's not Leader class size of say, 8 years ago. But he's Leader class size of say Kingdom Ultra Magnus. He's bigger than Leader Class Blitzwing, Leader Class Astro Train. You know, the Voyager classes that just come with more stuff. He's a hefty boy, but he's got some problems. Like I said, this figure does so much. You fix that right there. There we go. Makes it look a little bit better. He does a lot. You can see he's going to be retooled into things and things that he could possibly be retooled into. So he's got posability. He's got articulation. He's just back heavy. He's got some thin plastic and a few little tabbing issues. He just, I don't know. It might just be me because of my hand. He just really irritates me in certain ways, and I try to pose him and do things with him. If some of the tabs could tab a little bit better, and if he wasn't so back heavy, like the back could press better into the torso, I would like the figure a lot more. Otherwise, I like it for what it is. I think I have myself be a little bit too hyped for this figure, and he's not meeting the expectations that I set. It's still an excellent figure. I think a lot of people can get a lot of enjoyment out of this guy. It's just maybe just me hoping for more than what I got. It's still a nice figure, and I would recommend it if you're into Transformers Prime and don't mind them G1ifying Prime a little bit more, because they G1ify this to be a mix of the Prime and the actual G1 figure. Like I said, you can see where they're going to go other ways, or could go other ways with this figure here. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm sorry if it's been a little rough. Till the next ones. Peace out.